This work is never done. Stay in range. If you wander off, I can protect you.
Then don't. Okay.
My ultimate is charging. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective. Knock 'em dead.
Put them in the ground. Take everything from them. We will take this area together.
A motif in the making. I'm recharging.
Group up with me.
Engaging enemy forces.
Yeah. Here we got an interesting matchup. We got a Ramatra mirror match here, with the Symmetra wall coming and Symmetra ult coming through, stopping the push from Southeastern. This Symmetra is putting up a great defense. The Life Weaver ult coming in.
Efficient design at work.
This Symmetra is really stopping their push here, cooking their tanks.
I haven't seen Symmetra played yet, so I don't really know what she could try to do here, but what was it, the wall she put?
Yeah, it's
the
Symmetra
wall
wall.
was a good wall, I saw that.
Soldier trying to get a pick in the back line, but gets picked off himself. Reaper coming in to help. Both DPS dead for Southeast. Douglas is picking them off one by one. There goes the tank. And there goes first round. Douglas, once they got that point, never let it go. That Symmetra is really stopping the push from Southeast.
Yeah, I want to see how Southeast is going to deal with that Symmetra.
I think they need a tank switch up.
Mhm.
I don't think the mirror match is working out too well for Southeast.
And beautiful.
A helpful would have pace.
Looks like they're going to stay with the same comp. Let's see how they adjust gameplay-wise.
We are not defeated.
They do have the Symmetra teleport to get in faster. So let's see how they utilize it.
I will give
Both barriers coming out from Ramatras. Slow is really stopping their push. Symmetra turret's going down. It's going to be really difficult for them to get in. Oh, there goes the Symmetra teleport, getting a nice flank off. Ramatra's just going at it with the supports healing them from behind. Douglas's tank almost dead. Nice flank coming in from Southeast. Looks like they're falling back to regroup. Douglas makes the first strike again, controlling the point. It's going to be really difficult for them to push in through that Symmetra again. Southeast refusing to back down with their comp. Focusing the Symmetra, trying to get her off. More turrets are going down from Symmetra. They're really trying to take this high ground position. Meanwhile, Douglas going in, killing their back line. Picking them off one by one. Southeast falls one by one. Ramatra finally falls last. It's a good attempt trying to go for the Symmetra first, but Symmetra's turrets are really putting a damper in Southeastern's push. They can't really find any picks off of it. Ults are coming up now. They might try to force the Ramatra out here. They got him low a little bit. Here comes the Symmetra ults. They got to either push through or break it. Oh, and then they got flanked by the Ramatra ult. Oh, and they got collapsed on. Ramatra stuck by himself. And Douglas takes it the map 2-0. Southeastern struggled a lot getting a push through. Symmetra, MVP, of course, stalling that push easily. Once she got charged up, she was able to just kill those DPS and healers instantly. Let's see how Southeast makes changes on the next map.
Symmetra was good, but with the new perk where she gets 4 turrets, it's even better now.
Yeah, it's brutal. Just once they get that point established, it is incredibly hard to get it back on. They might have to swap to Winston, maybe would be a good pick. Just gun for those Symmetra turrets, get them down immediately. They need some type of flanker entry to deal with it. All right, here we go with match 2. Douglas decisively winning that first game 2-0 on that control on Oasis. Let's see how Southeast adapts. This isn't a control map, so we might not see that Symmetra pick.
Douglas is defending, right?
I don't know if Blue's attack or not.
We'll see.
Oh, red attack. So Douglas might still go opt for that Symmetra play, which they do for that defense. Southeast switching to Mercy.
Douglas was running Mercy before as well. I don't know who they
No,
are.
they had,
Ooh, Southeast switches to Winston.
yeah, but Southeast
Good for
opting
those
for that
turrets.
Winston pick to try to deal with those Symmetra turrets. It's a good swap. Still opting for the Reaper Soldier combo. Douglas not changing. Oh, they changed Life Weaver to
Greetings.
Mercy.
Winston immediately jumping in, creating that space for his team to push out. Winston's really good at dealing with those Symmetra turrets, so let's see if he focuses it. All right, those Symmetra turrets still just cooking them.
team kill on Southeast.
Douglas doing an excellent job at keeping their tank from being able to deal with the symmetric turrets, putting the pressure on them.
Even with the Winston swap.
Winston doing everything in his power to get in there. Oh, leaping on supports.
Mercy.
Huge res coming in for the Ramatra. Ramatra once again creating space, not afraid to go in, believing in his supports. He has to block, too much damage coming through. Symmetra just being able to charge her energy for free here, just absolutely destroying the DPS in 1v1s after getting her charge up. The Symmetra giving free high ground to the DPS for Douglas is very helpful. Ults are coming up. Reaper teleports in. Reaper gunning for the tank. It's those Symmetra turrets, they gotta focus them. Ults coming, multiple ults coming through for Douglas. Reaper in the back line going for supports. Mercy just trying to desperately heal. Gets immediately cooked in 1v1. And another res coming through. Swap.
From Winston.
Southeast swapping their tank again to Arisa. And swapping it to Moira. Desperately trying to claw from anything to get an advantage here. Here comes the ult from Mercy, keeping her entire team alive here. Arisa desperately trying to stay alive. Southeastern struggling to get any type of ground here. Douglas's defense right here is very solid. Can't even make it out of their spawn doors. Soldier getting picked off immediately by the Ramatra. Arisa charging in and getting fried by the turrets. Ramatra goes down. Moira also goes down for Southeast. Arisa's just very low, finally dies. So much damage coming through on both sides. The Mercy pick from Douglas is helping a lot with the picks.
Symmetra is just dominating right now. Both DPS on Douglas' side are closing in on 30 kills each. Symmetra wall goes down.
Just so much damage pouring through from Douglas. They can't even push through the wall. They just have to respect it and back off once again. They got a touch point though. And there goes the first round. Only 13 meters. I've seen bigger comebacks. Let's see how if Douglas continues to pick up the Symmetra. Symmetra is still useful on attack with that teleport to get space. I think they'll still stay on it for the success they've had.
Yeah, I'd like to see how they make Symmetra work without the turrets really helping us out as much because, you know, what are the turrets going to do when you're attacking?
And we see the swap to Bastion and Reaper.
No Symmetra on Douglas this time.
Southeast opting for Sigma this time, swapping tanks once again.
Looks like Douglas is going for a very fast approach here with Lucio and Diva speeding in, getting that back line, and finishing up the job after.
Douglas trying to end this game swiftly. Southeast no change in DPS once again. Still staying on that Reaper Soldier duo. Very strong combo. Sigma Shield already low. Sigma Shield's already gone. Big shield on Sigma. Diva already out of her mech. Reaper in the backline causing a lot of havoc. Mercy comes in and saves him. Bastion dies. Reaper just unkillable in the backline. The res on the Bastion. He has a nice flank. Picking up 2 kills. Killing Soldier and a support. Almost get 3-piece. Southeast standing on their ground.
We will have peace at any cost.
Those spawn timers, though, Douglas is a lot closer, so we'll see how this next fight coming up is going to go. They swap back to Symmetra. She gets picked off. And there goes map 2.
It was a good
Decisive
try from
victory.
Southeast.
Douglas feeling very comfortable with the Symmetra pick. Symmetra was an obvious highlight, but I think the supports as well for Douglas were doing a fantastic job at rezzing the picks and just keeping their tank alive for a really long time.
The tank being able to go in on Southeast and just Symmetra following right behind him. The tank taking all the hits and Symmetra just shooting everybody and getting that charge up was just letting her dominate the field. And Mercy just holding both of them up. It was a very interesting match. I like
Yeah,
it.
supports definitely enabled Douglas to just enabled their DPS and tanks to just play to their fullest without worrying the world. They were able just to dive the back line and just split their team easily. Just create havoc for them. Southeast never really got a good push together. They weren't allowed to.
Southeast, you know, on their defense, they held it. They held it for one team fight, but they swapped to Symmetra, just ran back in, got them.
Yeah, payload on that .1, especially from that close, very difficult to defend. Because one team fight, a couple people get picked off, that run back is very long. For the attackers, you're right there. So they're able to just keep up the pressure and eventually just squeak out the win there.
Now entering Q0. Initiating match.
Alrighty, here comes map 3. Another payload, or control on the first one into a payload. Or capture, excuse me. A lot of high ground on this map, so let's see if anyone adapts. We're switching to the Reinhardt this time. Southeast picking up a lot of different things.
Douglas is opening with Sigma instead of that the Ramatra pick from the last few matches. And of course, Symmetra.
Symmetra.
Opening with Symmetra.
Feeling very comfortable with the Symmetra pick. Southeast still with the Soldier Reaper combo. Let's see if the Reinhardt enables them to push through a little further to kill those Symmetra turrets. Getting some quick, easy charge.
You cannot escape me.
Reinhardt just barreling through at the start, just space for his team. Shield already low though. Symmetra almost dead already. Gets healed up quick back. Mercy doing a fantastic job. Reinhardt pushing in, creating space for his team, but gets immediately destroyed. Those Symmetra turrets are putting in huge work for them. Soldier falls next as they get picked off one by one after the tank falls. The revives from the Mercy are just keeping them in these fights over and over again. Not having to run all the way back from spawn, they're able to just keep up the pressure every team fight. Moira trying to get some ult charge in for Coalescence. Reinhardt trying to push through, making his way through, falls back a bit. His shield is getting destroyed. Reinhardt just getting melted. There's just so much damage coming through from Douglas. Here comes the Mercy out, and here comes the Res on Symmetra. Just keeping here in the fight, keeping up the pressure.
Got ultimate abilities coming up from both sides.
A Shatter could drastically change the way this team fights are going.
Southeast pushing up with Coalescence from Moira.
Finally making some space. Here comes the Symmetra wall at an off angle because they were getting pushed up, but the Reinhardt just stops in his tracks once again, as well as the Reaper falls. Southeast gets picked off one by once again. Team kill coming in.
Douglas's defense is just phenomenal.
Once they hold space, they are not giving it up. Southeast has to push in with a purpose to get any kind of leverage here. Taking some pop shots, not fully pushing in.
Ryan misses his pin, trying to get a pick off.
Here comes a Death Blossom, killing
4 people.
3.
3, 4.
Team wipe.
Incredible ultimate from Reaper there,
Absolutely incredible.
allowing his team to push up and capture the first point.
That's exactly what they needed to come get this pressure to this point. Douglas desperately trying to come pour in. Reinhardt puts a shield up, he's 1 HP. D.Va focusing the Reinhardt. Reinhardt dies. Here comes the Bap wall. Bap low HP, getting focused by the D.Va. Oh, Soldier trying to heal, but he gets hacked. And Douglas team kills.
Catch you later. You're mine now.
Protecting the point. Incredible defense.
D.Va just ran in behind him. No one seemed to notice that.
Douglas running in with no fear.
With the pick from Sojourn.
Here comes the Sojourn ult.
Second pick.
Getting 2 easy picks. Here comes
Shatter
a Rhine
on the
Shatter.
back line.
That's 2. But the D.Va Matrix stopping them from dying. Here comes the Coalescence for the follow-up. On the
Can they
supports.
touch?
Touch?
Barely.
Oh. And
They
D.Va
got
boops
2
him off.
ticks off.
They did get a couple ticks. Incredible comeback from Douglas to get back on that point. I thought for sure Southeast hadn't had it.
Initiating match.
Douglas doing a fantastic job of splitting the supports off from the rest of their team. Just isolating Southeast. The more chaos they cause in the back line, it is incredibly easy to pick them off. Douglas opting with the Widowmaker at the start of the round. It's a very common pick here on King's Row, especially when you get on that high ground at the very beginning. See if they get an easy pick. I'm interested to see if they stay on the Widowmaker or if they swap off if they don't get a pick early.
Close enough to me.
Southeast going for the Ramatra. Everything else in their team got the same. Tank just still swapping. Just trying to find anything that's working out for them. Widow trying to look for a pick here. Widow dies. Let's see if he switches off. Diva is getting destroyed by the Ramatra damage here. Reaper almost got picked off. Switch to the Sombra. Try to get something here. Sojourn just walking in. Gets killed by the Ramatra. Ramatra peeling for his team here. Killing the Sombra back on point. Or trying to.
Just Ramatra and Reaper trying to defend it alone. So apart from each other.
Reaper gets hacked. He's dead. They got a touch. Here comes the BAP Immortality. Just desperately trying to get on point. Here comes Bastion. Just picking them off. They just keep the pressure up. Here comes the Diva Bomb. Trying to seal this game off. No one's on point though. Here comes the Reaper. He has Death Blossom. Doesn't use it. Not focused too quickly.
Good round.
Very clean wins coming in from Douglas.
My barrier is gone. Actuating the barrier.
Just very impressive defense here from Douglas. Just not giving an inch.
Is the mic unmuted?
What an absolutely dominant performance coming in from Douglas.
I know. That was such a good game. And then while we have those games going on, we also have all this other stuff going on in here as well. We have a bunch of Smash Brother games going on at the other end of our room. We have our students getting ready, preparing for their games, sitting with each other. You know, this is one of the few times that they get to have an experience like this where they're playing with each other in person. And it's just really cool to get to be a part of it. Right, Michael?
It absolutely is.
You know, this is one of the greatest things we get to do here at River Sport is just to get to host such cool events like this where we're getting to see all these great players between Overwatch and Smash play. And we're going to come... Oh. No? Okay. You didn't? Yeah.